Hey, greetings, Jedi traders. David here of Trading Fibs to bring you the state of the indices for the weekly recap and outlook for the week finishing up December 4th, 2015. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. Support your knowledge in the market. See what's going through my head on any given day or week. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, let's get into the recap for the major indices, including crude. Jumping right into the Russell here, we could see the vast span of price action this week from the high of almost 1204 all the way down to 1166. As we've talked about the last 2 days, unbelievable action with Beige Book this week and ECB monetary policy, OPEC meeting. It was a lot of chisel out at the open, a weekly opening price up here at 1201. Dropped it to close out some former daily gaps, and price action rebounding up here to 1183.8. Never really, for big picture for the week, still closing out from the high 1201.1, but what a range on a move from 2 days of action, Thursday and Friday. Let's jump to the YM here as we see price action from almost a high here of 17,880 down to 17,400. Price action opening the week here at about 17,772. We close it out above the week here at 17,825. Again, similar picture at the highs. Brought it down on Thursday price action, and eventually coming back up here to close it out with a daily gap here at 17,818. Market profile on the NQ. What a day it was on the NQ as we tried to push it even higher on Wednesday. Price action just ripping to the downside on Thursday with the rest of the market. Again, notice today we came all the way down, closed out that daily gap from yesterday, 46.1125, and just rebounded all the way upside. What a range for the week. 47.40 down to 45.80. Market profile on the ES. Again, market profile, how much time spent at a given price. Price action again here, first 3 days, kind of sideways action. Brought it down on Thursday with the rest of the market. Almost closed out that daily gap, 2051.25. Brought it all the way back upside to 2088.50. And look at that, crude continues to push it downside into the high 30s here. As you'll see here on the big picture, it's still bullish, bearish all the way down. Again, what a range this week, 42.60 all the way down to here to the lows at 39.50. Let's jump to the volume profile here on the Russell. As we can see, the 1144 here eventually might come down and test that. Key note here, weren't able to close out that open point of control, but again, that leaves a weak low here, and now we have a weak high from today's price action. So yet to see what happens in next week's market. Volume profile, here we are at the high, week high. Again, another week high up here. Did a little bit of repair of that on today's price action here on the YM. Again, sitting around that 1711 as we have for the majority of 600 days, and that seems to be the line in the sand, 600-day macro point of control. Here we are in the NQ price action. Again, weak base down here, weak high up here, weak high up here. Again, doing a little bit of repair of price action upside, closing, not even able to close out that POC today. But again, plenty of price action remaining to the downside, with 42.7125 being the 600-day major VPOC. Again, ES loving that 2083.50 over the course of the last couple weeks, over the last 600 days. There's your macro POC. Again, weak high up here, weak high, repairing some, closing out some points of control as we lead into next week. Maybe come down and repair that, whoever knows. Volume profile on the crude. To wrap it up, as we move down into those high 30s, price action a little bit weak here on in today's price action, repairing that low from yesterday. As we head into next week, key weeks, we have contract rollover, we have FOMC minutes coming up in a couple weeks. So a lot of volatility, a lot of action as we head in. Let's take a look at the big picture on the markets. Again, what a week we had from a bearish run yesterday, finishing off on the bullish. Here's the TF Russell. Again, we got a bearish definition here on the 4-hour chart. Price action coming back upside, still bullish here, but neutral as we got to get above that 50-period moving average. Bearish neutral here, bullish on the bear. It's a tough call here on the Russell, guys. We're just kind of 50-50 split where the Russell is going to go. Again, we got a nice Fibonacci retracement coming back to the upside about 50%. We'll see if that holds or we break back upside. We know on that ES and NQ, boy, we just ripped it to the upside. So again, big picture on the TF, tough to call now. I mean, it's going to go a 50-50 split. We'll see where price action, if the weeklies obviously got to move up a little bit higher to keep this going with a bullish. But right now, I have to say, probably leaning more still to the downside before it goes to the upside, where the other markets clearly, look at this, rip back to the upside on the Fibonacci on the YM. So here we got a bullish trend on the 4-hour chart, bullish trend upside, bearish to neutral, bullish, all on the big picture here. On the weekly and daily, monthly is trying to make its way upside, and the intraday, so I'm going to give this bull run all the way across, about 96%. Look at the NQ, got a bullish run on the crossover, T3 moving average crossover, 4-hour chart in the bulls here. Bearish neutral still on the monthly, but we're pretty much bullish all the way on the right-hand side as NQ came back up and ripped above that 61.8 retracement and finishing to the upside. Again, testing that 61.8 downside and finding support back at the Fibonacci target up above. So given the NQ still in the bull, it's tough when you got all major indices still in the bull. It might take this Russell, again, a little bit more to get to the upside. All right, taking a look at the ES, we got the bulls taking control as in our wrap-up from Friday. We saw price action break above that 61.8 again, so we got a trend change. Bulls all across the board. So with a little bit of bearish neutral, you got to give this 96% to the bulls. So we got bulls to the run with a contract rollover coming up, and we have ECB monetary came out this week. Beige book and came out this last week. As we head into next couple weeks, contract roller is yet to be seen what will happen. And last, finishing up, I think you know the picture on crude as we continue on this Fibonacci extension to the downside. We got bears, a little bit of bullish neutral as price action crossed back upside, but we got bearish, downside, bearish. I think you got the picture there. All right, as we lead into next week, again, if you need some light reading this weekend, go ahead online, find the current economic conditions. You can scroll through, read about all the districts and what you think the Fed will might do in the upcoming weeks. All right, there's your economic reports for next week. Starting on Monday the 7th, we got Fed speakers on Monday, petroleum report on Wednesday. Market seems to move with the gas. Jobless claims, and as we lead in a contract rollover, and the next week it's FOMC meeting begins here, and forecast announcement should be a big number, and there you go, quad witching to finish out the 18th. Should make for an exciting end to this contract. See where price action moves upside, or we continue to drive this down. And that's right. Let's go back for a second. I want to show you some of these. If you recall, we've been talking about on the long-term picture. I got to pull back some of these lines, but we got open gaps down here below. That's right. Eventually, it might take a year. It might take 2 years. It might take just till 2016. Right here, 42.50 downside. The YM in the region down here, we got an open gap down in 16,400, and long-term TF, we got that open hole still down here around 1100. So might take us some time to get down there. Who knows? But it sits there, and all open gaps eventually get closed. That concludes today's weekly recap and outlook for the state of the indices and crude. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra of one simple strategy: any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter at TradingFibs. And as always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only trade what's in front of me on my charts. Have yourself a Blue Zone weekend, and we'll see you next week. Good day, good night, and good trading.